All right. Yeah.
Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game.
Huh?
A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day.
Oh. You're welcome, I guess. That's cool. Hmm.
But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I
Oh.
appreciate it. That's how I know you care about this experience.
Yeah, of course. Of course I care. It's a good game.
I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're saying are correct.
I mean, yeah, they are. Ish.
Tell you what, I'll make you a deal.
I think I was actually a minute off. Whoops. Well, the intent was there. Yeah?
Since you've been so cooperative, next time you go up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time.
Ooh. I mean, if I remember to do that, I will.
Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it.
Sure.
Alright, I'll let you get back to the
Okay.
video game now.
Oh.
This is the story of a man.
Hey. It's good to be back. So, it's been a bit since I played this. The plan was to go back to where I was and start the video there, but whatever. Like in the last episode where I ended off. But it wasn't really worth it. I didn't do anything after that, by the way. I stopped there. So, yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I already did that, I think. If I remember correctly, I think I already completed
This was not the correct way
that.
to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly. He wasn't 5 years ago.
What if I actually take the lift? It does go somewhere. Why not?
Look,
See why
Stanley,
not.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I mean, I know
I
that.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Not
but
really.
The fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Yeah, I know.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Not Stanley.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Who?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I don't really appreciate spam calls.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No,
Not Stanley, but yeah.
Supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Not really.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
Well, that wouldn't be my wife. I'm not Stanley, so that's kind of irresponsible of me. So I think I actually did the right thing.
Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand.
Yep.
How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What?
How had I not noticed it sooner?
Yeah?
You're not Stanley.
Yeah?
You're a real person.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I am.
I can't believe I was so mistaken.
Took you
This
long
is
enough.
why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to
Yep.
think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely.
Yep.
It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making.
I think-
Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation?
I
Well, I
don't-
won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so I can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
What?
Choice.
What?
It's the best part of being a real person of hard work forgetting how to read that does not conform to rational logic. That person is not real. My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
A what?
Choices are actually meaningful, and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside.
Welcome back.
What the fuck?
You may have noticed
Forklifts.
that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Oh,
But not
fuck.
to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This
Okay.
way, please.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing the... Ooh, yeah, I fucked it up. Ooh. Fair enough. Alright, where are we going?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We
I mean,
just need
yeah.
to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
Sure, yeah.
Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see that. This definitely wouldn't exist like this otherwise. Oh. Really did it. Huh. Responsible. I definitely see how I fucked up now. Yeah.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Well, I could just leave at any time, but you know, I'm just doing this for you.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
I've already done
All right.
this.
When Stanley came to a set of
okay.
two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, but you see, you gave me a choice. How can I not take it? Oh, it's just so... I never noticed those have never been on. Huh. I mean, you've given me a choice here. And I want to take the wrong one for some reason. Even though I know the severity of my actions. Because this is just a game and it doesn't matter.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction.
No.
Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, fine. Should I just keep going? Oh, fuck.
I can't believe, after everything we talked
Oh.
about, that you... My story! You've destroyed my work! Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was
That'd be
so
funny.
special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I No, I have to. I have to shut the game
Wait,
down.
what?
I
No,
have to.
don't do that.
I have to.
Don't do that. No, don't. Nope. Stop. Oh. Shit. Oh. Oh God.
No! I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Yeah.
Just to see?
Yeah.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility.
Yeah, I
you
saw
would have
it.
destroyed it and been victorious.
I've already seen
it
that.
would have been so perfect.
Yeah.
I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It looks very clean in here. It feels wrong.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
You see, when things keep changing,
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
when things keep changing, I can't help but do it, you know? I just have to see what happens.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
I did.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Oh, I think it's the same.
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Fine.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine.
Wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Why is this labeled differently? Why is... What the... Did you really lock the... Is this all the same?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
This is
Shocked,
different.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
What?
Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115? This isn't how this works. Night Shark 115?
Stanley spoke the code.
Yeah.
Night Shark
I'm
115.
Doing it.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
This isn't how this works. Night Shark 115?
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yes.
You didn't mishear me, did you?
No.
Please speak the code into the
I
receiver.
did.
Otherwise,
That's
we
not
can't
how
get
it
on with the story.
works.
This is a crucial
I
step.
I can't exactly do
Okay,
that.
fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
The subtitle?
When Stanley came to a set of two
What?
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What the fuck? Is that Stanley?
Stanley? Hello?
What?
Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
Can't walk off.
Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Funny game. Funny British man. Jesus Christ. That was depressing. Okay, I'm gonna just continue and act like that didn't happen.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
One of these computers. See it. Oh, you have to do it in one sitting? Fine, I'll do it.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
You know, no. It's odd that you tell me to do that and that this is specifically labeled and that you locked it last time.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Yeah?
No reason to still be here.
And what are you gonna do about it? Make me come out?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
You can say fuck all. I wouldn't be offended from that.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Mm-hmm.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yep.
Why?
Because I
Please
can.
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because I can. That's why. I mean, you labeled it very specifically, and I want to know why. Why would you label it specifically?
You realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it
I
didn't
do.
even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Then why'd you label it?
I never would have thought to mention it.
You could have just left it blank. I wouldn't have questioned it. But you labeled it broom closet. No other doors labeled specifically, like
Maybe
office.
to you, this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Why would I do that? I'm just interested.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
You know, you talk
That or
about...
with drug money.
I-
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What the Okay, so he's not willing to say fuck all, but he's willing to say that. Jesus. What the fuck? That, you know, he takes such a sharp turn from being like, I like Stanley, he's a nice person. When he realizes you're not Stanley, but he's not very nice to Stanley most of the time. Like, I don't really like that. Doesn't really line
Well, I've
up.
come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
No, I'm not.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here.
I'm moving.
A physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system, and you collapsed on the keyboard.
No, I'm right
In
here.
a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as
Yep.
to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Well,
Hello?
that won't be
Anyone
needed.
who happens to be nearby? The
Me?
person
I'm
at this
here.
computer is dead.
No.
They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities.
Are you not a person?
It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
See,
Please remove
but you're
their
British.
corpse from the area and instruct
Aren't
another
you?
human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
You know, I still said it's all I got.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
You see, you're wrong. Because I'm the same person. Haha.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids.
Are you
Perhaps there's a
not a
monkey
person?
nearby you can hand the controls to.
Hey!
Fish?
What?
Fungus?
I'm not
Look,
offended by
You
that.
can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky.
I mean,
I'll
that
just be
last one's
waiting for when
fine.
you're ready to pick up the story again.
Just don't have a fungus nearby. I don't have mushrooms. It would be nice. No. Alright, I'm bored. I've gotten my entertainment out of that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked.
Bye-bye. Going up. Is he? I thought he's actually. He's getting into it. Does this go forever? Right, it's where I came from.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
How did you get wrong?
By simply pushing random buttons,
You know, that time that actually
Stanley
fits.
happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
That time you're not really that far
He stepped
off.
into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
Yep.
Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a
Funny.
good question.
It's funny.
I just can't wait to find out.
Oh, you'll see. I have plans. Okay, backtrack.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Of
Ladies and
course.
gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
I'm a theatrical genius, that's why. Or how. Oh, didn't even.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator.
Of
I can't even
course.
begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Can't help but feel like you're being sarcastic.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
No way.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process
Oh,
this.
yeah, of course. Hey, it doesn't say Ultra Deluxe. Wait, no. This is wrong. What the fuck?
Okay, I'm ready.
Alright.
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Back to the elevator. No. God damn it. I like his hat. It's a little fancy man. Look at him. Drinking his coffee. It's not even how those work. Do you know how that's stiff? Couldn't have even animated it properly?
All right. I have fully come to terms with it.
Huh?
I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course. Going back down in the elevator.
Yep.
How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before.
This
I
is
had
true.
no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is.
That's not how
A
you say
breath
that.
of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
I'm glad my choices are actually being acknowledged now for what they are. Nothing?
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize?
Huh?
It's the anticipation, Stanley.
Yeah.
You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator.
Ooh,
But the
yeah.
suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess,
Of
that's
course.
the real thrill.
Yeah.
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh. Oh.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started.
Yeah.
But where's the tension?
Exactly.
Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters?
Endgame.
Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises?
Yeah.
To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal.
Yeah.
This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right
Yeah.
now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years.
Yeah.
And it's really all because of you. You're
Of
the one who
course.
took this bold step of revisiting the exact same
I'm not
locations over
Stanley,
and over.
but you know.
Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You
This
see,
is true.
I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you.
Really?
Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for
What?
you so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you
I am
realize
recording,
the
right?
impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them
know what,
for
you're
the
right.
better. Oh, good, we're here.
Oh. You know what? Yeah, it's fine, people. It's
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
I think it's about time people recognize me for my genius. All eyes on Stanley, live on stage. Yeah, of course. How we did it, the pyramids live, the guy who went to Mars, world's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. This one's really popular. It's always been an all-time favorite of mine.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
The Stanley Parable, Stanley Tonight, live on stage. I can't read that, but I'll zoom in on it in editing and read it.
The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Stanley, from the Stanley Parable. Tonight, live on stage.
Stage door. A Q&A with world's first sentient machine. That'd be neat. Doing great.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative.
I can
Oh, don't
improv
worry,
this.
You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart.
Of course.
I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go
To
get 'em.
stage. Welcome, Stanley. Stanley Ryder. Almonds, cherry gum, table, nut bar. Sounds good to me. 427. Zoom in on that. Is that Stickman? An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. Ooh, shit, that's a good one. What? Hey! Oh, just getting to the good part.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Can't hide from me.
door on his left. Stanley walked upstairs, once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator
I'm just here
talk.
for the endings.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
What? I mean, this is nice.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Huh? What were you saying? I wasn't really
Was it
paying
even
attention.
possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yeah.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Yeah,
labeled with emotions.
keep going on.
Happy, or sad,
Drivel.
or
Yeah.
content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Yeah, about
over
that.
another human. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself.
I mean, of course. Yeah, something like that. Whatever. If that's a story you want.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Really now?
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
This doesn't usually
A
happen.
volatile detonation then, let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
This feels a little portally in my opinion, but you know, do what you want with it.
More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Yeah,
All
great.
this means
Of course.
I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Shit.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
What the
I have
hell?
to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Fuck. Okay. Fine.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
What the?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Ultra Deluxe Edition? Is this... Ooh. Is this why it's the Ultra Deluxe Edition?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yeah.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Yep.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Sure.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving
Question.
somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm used to slow elevator rides.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay. I mean, I'm not Stanley, but...
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can... Huh. I can jump? This is fun. It's actually a very satisfying jump with the very... Well, I like that. That's cool.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I'm satisfied.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
I mean, it could have been more,
just
yeah.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours.
Why is
of
this
new
subtitles?
content. Oh, wait.
Oh.
There's more.
Never mind.
Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base
Halo
rush
Infinite.
a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking...
Let's see. Halo Infinite, Super Mario All-Stars, 3D All-Stars, rather. Sorry. How about, let's see. What else is there? I know there's more. I'm blanking now. You get my point.
Right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
No way. There's no way they left that in. What the really? Oh, that's just baffling.
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Whoa. Wait a minute. This isn't right.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, what? What is it? Oh, shit.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made
I
something
don't know.
special and tucked it away here
I
where
didn't
the
really play
game's
it.
developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
I mean, I didn't really play the original, but hey, I mean, I heard it was pretty good. What about it? What is this? Ooh. Oh, yeah, this does satisfy.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories
No
so I can
way.
relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Is the letter in here?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Did they really do that? Are these real? I mean,
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now
how much did you pay
it's
to
nothing.
say that?
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Is that Minecraft? Yeah, it's a classic. Ah, yes, the hammer editor. Unmistakable. Yeah, of course.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. Oh, these were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Interesting. What is down here? Oh, gold drinks. Is that it? Alright, nah, I'm kidding. What? Why does this remind me of Half-Life 2? Oh, this looks a lot like Half-Life 2.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Did people really not review it well? Was it review bombed or something?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This is true, yeah. Bit of a weird review. I find him funny. I mean, I literally call him funny British guy, or person, or whatever I said. Yeah. This place is kind of cool, though, frankly.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You're not.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I remember hearing good things about it. I mean, it seems like a pretty good game to me if this is what it was like. Well, not here, I mean this is cool, but like the rest of it, too. I liked it. I really liked this. I haven't refunded it yet. I couldn't even do it that now, but I wouldn't even if I could, you know? It's nice. It's good. Oh.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations
This
of
is
what's happening.
slightly true.
I wish there was a skip button.
I don't.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't really need it, but I appreciate the gesture that I can have one.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday.
Really
Here and
now?
there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise.
Yeah.
Or maybe a manifesto.
Really now?
Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
So my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
That's true.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
Yeah.
Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Sure.
But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently.
Really now?
I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go.
All right.
Treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
You know, this game's really interesting. I really like it. I think I might leave a positive review.
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Not done yet, though.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
Though so far, I'd give it a positive review.
Treatise, manifesto.
Did it?
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Alright, fine.
Treatise, manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button.
The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
Want to do that right now?
Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button.
Maybe it
Although
doesn't
I
matter
have
what
to
people
imagine
say.
that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very
I mean,
situation.
you can already.
Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Yeah. Subtitle stopped. Let me just think it broke.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
Is it?
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe
Oh.
30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
All right.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated,
All right.
and we can say goodbye to it and just wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Good question.
Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the
There
first
was
place?
definitely a
I don't
door
think
here.
one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window, or something like that.
Miss
Do you see a window
Krabs,
anywhere? A
there's some
porthole?
door here.
A sufficiently large crack in the wall?
No,
I'll take any
no.
of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere
Oh,
other
we
than
can't
the
jump.
skip
Damn it.
button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me
I'm
here.
trying.
We need a door. We need a door of some kind.
Yeah.
I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door.
All right, you do that. I'll keep
I don't
doing
know
this.
how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way. I
Go
promise.
find a
You
hammer or
just
something.
need to
I don't
not
know.
do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me,
Yeah.
and don't press
Okay,
the
don't
skip
do
button.
anything.
Got it? Yes.
Okay.
Good. I'll be right back.
I mean, normally I'd humor myself by doing it, just to spite you. But honestly, I'm kind of concerned about how I'm gonna get out here. I mean, maybe it's taking him a while because Hammer's kind of hard to work with. I mean, this is Source 1, not Source 2, so it is much harder to do things. I mean, even Source 2 is kind of hard to, like, especially with... Alright, fine. Let's press the fucking button. I don't get the choice. Fine.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's
Wait,
been
what?
12 hours.
That
You've
light
just
was
been
on before.
frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
Oh, did you really
Stanley,
not find
the door
one?
is gone. It's completely gone.
Oh.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it.
Wait,
and
really?
I have to believe.
Oh, no.
I have to know that sooner
Oh.
or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button. Here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button. If become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer.
You know, this isn't
and
great
leave
for me
all
either.
alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me at... Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met
You know, for
Cookie
once they're
Nine.
actually
I
right.
have no... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're
Oh
back.
shit,
Oh,
they're
my
turning
goodness.
off.
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with.
Oh god.
And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always?
I mean, yeah,
Doesn't
technically.
that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking?
Yep.
But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't
I
the
mean,
same
you
at
don't
all.
seem to
It isn't
know
even
I'm talking,
close,
so...
because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence. Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Feels like it's
I
brighter in
stopped
here
keeping
now.
track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed. For you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual
okay?
arrival. If I
Can't you
can
just put a
only
door
do
there?
this, only this one
Or just
thing,
delete the wall?
perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Well, you know, it's the only thing I can interact with, so off I go. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna just... Oh, please tell me there's a fire. Is it out battery? That stopped. Can I go in there now? Stop beeping.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful
hello?
demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. Be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes,
Beginner's guide?
They've been jealous of me this whole time.
It's
They
giving
are
me that type of
mired in
vibe.
fear and insecurity, and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumb.
You know, I'm surprised that plant is even still standing.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Alright, I'm gonna go. Well, this is kind of nice. British man? Hello? Give him more time. He'll come back. What? Wait. Huh? Oh, okay. Whoa. Oh no. Sort of gives me fucking beginner good vibes. God damn it, this music. If only I could fucking sprint. Oh, still can make noises. Jesus Christ. So much for funny, British man. God. I'd leave it off here, but I still have to press that
All
button
of
a
his
few more
co-workers were
times.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Wait.
memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
What?
co-workers.
It's not... That wasn't there before, was it? No. No. Are you fucking kidding? Fine.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting
Yeah.
to show you.
I knew when the windows started making noise that this wouldn't be the end. I mean, when would it ever be? Suppose never. Okay. What is it?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original
Yeah.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So
Alright.
forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
The end is
Yes,
never.
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Alright. You know what? Better than what I just
Calling it the
experienced.
Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
I don't like that last thing, but you know. Go ahead, I guess.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is
Okay.
going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll
Yeah.
all work itself out. Game development is much more of a force of magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
I mean, somewhat, if that's how you wish to view it. I suppose that's what it is. I know I haven't said much as of this, like, recent entire time, but just... What the fuck? What am I supposed to say? Like, this is so fucking weird. What is this? What? I'm kind of speechless, frankly. What the fuck? How long did this take to make?
Here we are.
Is this Source
Try
1?
out some of the new features.
Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, yeah, it's neat. The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game, alright?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here,
Okay.
let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise
Not
you'll
really
love
have
it.
clothes for it,
Okay,
but you know.
here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really,
Sure,
truly
yeah.
Jim right now?
Yeah.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second
Yeah.
time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I mean, it is a good size for pressing. He did make sure of that.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
What? Oh, didn't work. Press the button.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, sure. I mean, still needs some fleshing out, you know. Needs work. It's actually a pretty good office. I like that. Ooh. I mean, I'm liking it so far. The button that says near the player is playing the game Jump Circle Infinite. Jump Circle? Exit, okay. Free achievement. Get yours right now. 1. Pull the lever. 2. Receive your new achievement. 3. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now. Ooh.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Hmm. What the fuck is this? Okay.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Fine.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you.
Yep.
I really spent quite a lot of time on all this.
I can tell.
And I would very much like to show you some more of them.
Yep.
How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about...
What?
Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Alright. We can zoom on all his papers and editing and read them.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Yes, it is.
The problem is that you like holes too much.
This is true.
Normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah.
I feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button
Fascinating.
and come join me up above.
Well, you know what? That's true. I mean, it's not
Right enough,
infinite.
I'm positively thrilled.
It's not enough.
I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about.
It's
And I've
not
had enough
infinite,
of the
it's not
hole for
infinite.
a lifetime.
Yeah, but you see, you were very right when I said... No, when you said that I like holes. This is true. So I'm gonna go in again.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole.
I really am the
If
problem.
this starts to become a thing with... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the
Maybe.
lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on
Yeah.
here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length.
Yep.
Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
What do you think I've been doing?
Well, there it is. The shame of my
Oh.
lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point.
Could be a good pool.
It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
Yeah, you're kind of
Oh,
right.
Who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the,
Oh, not again.
teleport button not working?
Where's the door?
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Oh, please don't put a
I'm
door
out.
here.
Goodbye,
What?
Stanley.
Wait, what?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Why do I hear stuff? What? Huh. Alright. I could do this. You can't just kiss. I like this one the most. What? Just reminds you of Pikmin music. You know that one theme?
Stanley!
Huh? Yeah, what?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it.
I was exploring the
And don't miss a
multiverse.
single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here.
No,
in
not
this
again.
hole, and I'm
What
looking
have I
forward to
done? I
all of
keep
them.
doing this.
Stay alert, Stanley.
No.
I'll be back.
This isn't even bad for him. You can just leave. Fuck. Oh, is it gonna do it again? No. Oh, thank God. Oh.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Stanley Parable 2 Reassurance Bucket. I have always liked buckets. Except for when they have a hole in them.
The complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was
Well,
confusing
two
and
holes.
paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Yeah.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket,
Whoa.
the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
What
the bucket is the perfect
You
solution.
said FA.
Come on,
Why?
give it a try.
You're so back and forth, I swear.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I keep it? I can just take it with me. I don't mind this. Hell yeah, I get a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
This definitely
That
wins
really
it.
should be an award if it isn't already.
It says Jim. You heard Jim in the game. Jump circle. Collectibles. You can find them. Collect them all. Collectibles. I mean, I think I already have one.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
The hell? There's no way there's another 5.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, but where's the jump circle? Ah, here it is.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
No way, that actually matters. You're kidding me. Tilda. Damn it. Can't cheat. No, she could actually do something with the bucket. Settings World Champion? That's new? What's new? This drops me into the infinite hole, I swear to God. Oh, that's where I came from. It's Saints World Champion. Let's see it. How would I enable everything? Oh.
This is the story of...
Well, I think I got what I needed. Where's the exit? Ah, there it is. And now we leave. I am still recording, aren't I? Yep. Okay.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, sure. Seems good to me. I got a bucket, I got a cool cursor. Got to mess with settings.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely
Perhaps
a
it'll
good
be better than
game in
Halo
somewhere.
Infinite.
Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Try again.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game.
This bucket's a good
I
one.
wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the
Can I put
structure and the
popcorn in
gameplay
this?
of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Whoa. I liked it much better at 75, frankly. Whoa. This is actually pretty good.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 4.
Of course.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room.
If I
And
go
then one day, something
over
very
there.
peculiar happened.
Ooh.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order
If I see
had
new
arrived on the monitor
content,
for him to
that
follow.
I swear to
No
God.
one had showed up to give him instructions.
Well,
or
new
meeting,
content
or
rather.
even say hi. Never in all his years at the company
swear to
had this happened. This complete isolation.
If there's a rubber
Something
duck
was very clearly wrong. Shocked,
in the bucket.
frozen solid, Stanley
Maybe
found
in
himself
bread.
unable to move
Some bread
for
could
the
be good.
longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is different.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Oh, sorry.
Stanley picked up
Didn't
the
notice
bucket.
that. There we go. Didn't see that. My bad.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Of course. Well, yeah.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yeah.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Yeah. Don't have time for this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of human life.
Weird.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Yep.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
As always.
So the bucket knew all along. Was the bucket guiding him?
Perhaps.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
No fucking way.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
What the fuck is happening? I'm so baffled and surprised that this is all one game. I know that's fucking crazy that, like, it's just like, this is all a game? Like, what the I had no frame of reference. I've never played the original, but I feel like none of this was here before. I mean, right? Yeah.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Of course.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Best to explore and find out, I suppose.
Monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's field mind.
It's a good question.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done
Here we
it.
go again.
Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
What the?
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket. Those were the lengths not to part with the bucket.
No way.
Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Is this the end? I'm starting to get the end is never theme.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What? Can you say that shit? What? That's not... Okay, one more after this. Don't get to know what the hell that does.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
in person. Alright. Large room with lots of boxes. Might know where that is. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini Stans? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
That definitely means something, doesn't it? That means something completely different.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. Indeed,
yeah, they are.
It was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed.
What?
Without my
Wait,
bucket,
no.
I've gone
What the fuck?
truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Wait, what? I'm
This is
confused.
the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? How deep
Mariella
does this
woke up on
go?
a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
What the
But on
fuck?
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
What?
Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
What?
Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What the fuck is happening? Finally. There's no possible way. What the what is this game? What? What is it? This is still the... Would this have all been different if it wasn't like Stanley Parable 2 version? Awesome! That was definitely worth it. What is happening? Well, you can't fool me. This is different. No.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
I don't understand. What the hell?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, where's the collectibles? Private, yeah, I know where to go. You don't see it, but my face pretty much for the past, like, what, 20 minutes has been filled with just the sequels of, yep, okay, has been filled with utter confusion. Like, I've just been confused this entire time. What?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanleys, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense
I don't
of
even know what to say
that
anymore.
you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Should I just stop? Should I stop halfway through? Because I don't know when I'm going to find the end of this, if there is one.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I can't even fucking explain how confused I am by this. What is happening? What? How? I really doubt any of this was in the first game, and I don't know how to... How do you... How... What?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead.
If I went back up and down the elevator again over and over, would it be different now that I have a bucket? Has everything just been changed? Did they record separate lines for all of this? I've never gone down there. I, I have never once gone down here. I've planned to, but I never have. I feel like I've explored almost every possibility, but I feel like I've also explored barely any of them.
Lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
I'm
and
gonna go
Bucket
turn
both
on.
wondered to themselves.
I don't even know how I'm gonna edit this. How the fuck am I gonna edit this? In what universe do I... How?
The office was being videotaped, monitored like
How?
guinea pigs. The Bucket had never seen anything like
How am I
this.
gonna edit
It
this?
very nearly
How?
burst into tears.
I don't...
Stanley cradled it gently,
I
reassuring it that
don't
everything
know.
would be fine.
I don't even know how I'm gonna do this.
Was the Bucket under the mind control facility's influence as
Alright,
well? Had the Bucket
taking
been told
one
to do
ear
things
off
it
of my
didn't wish
headset.
to do?
How
What
the
kinds of
fuck
things does a
do
Bucket
I
want
edit
to do
this?
or not want to do in the first place?
I don't
These
even know.
questions raised
I don't know.
fears
I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
Stanley's family.
What do I keep in?
No!
There's so much
He screamed
footage.
into the Bucket. He
I
couldn't accept it.
I should have
His
stopped a
own
while ago,
life in
shouldn't I
someone
have?
else's control? Never! He squeezed the Bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the Bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or
Is there a way you can
content.
win this?
Walking, eating,
I
working,
wonder.
all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery... But at the last second, the Bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the Bucket's plan
Villain
all
arc?
along?
Yeah, I was
To take
expecting
over the
this.
machine and claim
Unoriginal.
the power for itself? How could the Bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the Bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the Bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I don't even know anymore.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally.
This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the Bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the Bucket tightly to his chest.
No.
Entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the Bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
No, I'm doing this on my own.
And here it was. Had the Bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the Bucket turned out to be.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know anymore.
No, never mind. The Bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
No fucking way.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
What the, where am I? Where is this? I am fucking baffled. What the hell is all of this?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel
Stanley?
every time I pick it up.
Stanley?
No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the
Ratman.
same feeling.
I don't know. I'd be fucking Gabriel for all I know. I
Emptiness in
swear
my
to God.
chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. Still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to... What's that? Who's there?
I'm never gonna question it anymore. I don't think there's a reason to question it anymore. I don't feel like there is. So we're both red and blue. That's the last thing. That's the last one.
Stanley picked up
Thank
the
you for
bucket
bringing
and
it to me.
smiled. He'd never Stanley
Yeah. Just thank you for
This was not the correct way
just
to the
making
meeting
this
room,
faster for
but
me.
Stanley had felt the bucket.
So, yeah, I was just... this is me in editing, obviously. I know this is a very sudden place to cut it off. And I know that because I don't know why it cut off either. It just cuts off there. I've been editing this for the past 3 days. Oh god. I never even bothered to check if it actually recorded the whole thing. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Well, fuck. Okay. I I don't even remember what happened after this. It's all kind of a blur, honestly. Um, I did collect the last figurine. I do remember that. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember most of it. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it was almost over anyway. There wasn't gonna be much more of. Like, it was very close to the end. I do know that. I just, you know, fuck it. I think I'm done. Yep, I'm just gonna leave. Fuck it. I don't have time for this. I'm gone.